Hello everyone, I am Mrs. Naisi Dewan and I am here to continue with my sociology classes. So in the previous classes we had in fact we are doing chapter 2, that is Indian society, structure and process. So from this chapter we have completed rural economy in pre-British India and we have completed characteristics and patterns of land ownership in pre-British India, and in the last class we had done self-sufficient village society. So today we will be doing the Jajmani system. So in the previous class, if you remember, Jajmani system was one of the characteristics of the self-sufficient society. So today we will be doing this system in detail. So what is Jajmani system? Before that, the Jajmani system, the first study of Jajmani system was made by William H. Weiser in his book The Jajmani System, published in 1936. So he was the first person, W.H. Weiser, he was the first person to study about the Jajmani system. This system prevailed in the self-sufficient villages of India. So here in the Jajmani system you can see the word Jajman. So it is derived from the Sanskrit word Jajman, which means a person who hired Brahmins in order to perform certain religious functions, religious rituals and ceremonies. So in the Webster dictionary also, if you look at the definition of Jajman, Jajman is a person who hired Brahmins for different religious sacrifices. So in Sanskrit, the word Jajman, the person who offers fire sacrifices. So here the Jajman, in the previous sense, the Jajman meant only the person who hired services of the Brahmins, but gradually this Jajman was referred not only to the person who hired Brahmins, but also the person who hired other services like the services of the barber, carpenter, blacksmith, washerman, etc. So here you can see a person Jajman who received, Jajman was a person who received who received services from different people. They were referred to as the Kamins. So washerman, he was responsible for the washing of the clothes. Barber, he was responsible for dressing the hair of the villagers. Priest, they offered sacrifices, they performed religious rituals and ceremonies. Carpenter, they did all kinds of woodworks, and blacksmith, they used to make different tools out of iron. We also have potters who used to make earthen pots, which was used for different domestic purposes. So here Jajmani system is basically the relationship between the Jajman and the Kamins. So I have showed two arrows, which means here the Kamins rendered services, and instead of that services, the Jajmans looked after the Kamins, well-being or the welfare of the Kamins. So Jajmani system, it grew. It started when there was differentiation of works, differentiation of different occupations, and when the system of the landowners, the ones who owned land and those who did not own land, that means the landless, all this system, when it came into being, it led to the rise of the Jajmani system. So to the next slide. So let us look at the definition of Jajmani system. One of the definition given by Oscar Lewis is Jajmani system is a system under which each caste group within a village is expected to give certain standardized services to the families of other caste. So as I told you earlier, so each caste group, okay, it is related to caste system also. So each caste group, they had to give certain services to the families of the other caste, which refers to the jajmans here. And again, another definition by Professor Ram Ahuja. He opined that the system in which the durable relation between a land-owning family and the landless families that supply them with goods and services is called Jajmani system. So here, the relationship between the land-owning and the landless families was durable, which means long-lasting relationship. And for providing the services to the jajmans, here the landless families or the kamins, they received different items like food grains, clothes, which were necessary for their livelihood. So I hope you understood the meaning of Jajmani system. So for understanding the Jajmani system in a better way, we will look at the characteristics of Jajmani system. So looking at the characteristics, number one is Jajmani relations are permanent. As I told you, Jajmani system is basically the relationship between the Jajmans and the Kamins, and this relationship was permanent in nature. That means the Jajman, they received services from the Kamins and he had no right to, take the Kamins out of the service. And if the Kamins, they had to leave village, or if they wanted to leave a village, they were supposed to find a substitute for the Jajmans they used to render service to. Another one is Jajmani is hereditary. Hereditary means it was the services was transferred from father to son. That means the Jajman, a son of a Jajman was a Jajman and the son of the Kamin was Kamin. So it transferred, it had a hereditary character. So if the Jajman did not have any son, his daughter's husband, that means his son-in-law, was supposed to get the services. And in case of Kamin, if Kamin had no daughter, then his son-in-law was responsible for giving services to the Jajmans. In that way, the relationship was hereditary in nature. And the third characteristics, goods against services. So for the services rendered by the Kamins, they used to get certain goods. So money was not there. There was a system of barter where the Kamins used to get food, clothes, food in the form of wheat, rice, etc., whatever they needed for their livelihood. So their goods was given in place of the services they rendered to the Jajmans. The fourth characteristics, informal interpersonal relationship. So since the relationship between the Jajman and the Kamin were permanent, so the relationship between them were more of personal rather than the formal or economic relationship. Since they were working together from generation to generation, they developed a very strong relationship among each other. So we cannot say that they just had the economic relation. Okay, like we go to the market, if we have to cut hair, dress hair, we go, we do it and then we pay and come back, but we never care about the barber or about the washerman, we just dealt with. But that was not the case in Jajmani system because their relationship was permanent. They were responsible for taking care of the Kamins. The next characteristics is universality. Universality means it was present in each and every part of India. So in all the villages of India, this Jajmani system prevailed, which makes it a universal system. Next is the peace and satisfaction. W.H. Weiser, he said that one of the significant characteristics of the Jajmani system is that there is peace and satisfaction among the villagers. They had peace because their job was secure, their occupation was secure, and they were happily serving each other. So it brought peace and satisfaction to all the villagers. The Jajmans, they were happy to receive the services, and the Kamins, they were very happy, they were satisfied to give the services. And the third is social harmony. So this Jajmani system brought social harmony among the villagers. So Jajmani system, it involves interdependence, it involves reciprocity and cooperation, and overall it brought social harmony among the jatis and families of Indian villages. So I hope you are understanding. We did the definition and the characteristics of Jajmani system. So now, since this system was very unique, it was important, it had certain merits. We'll look into the merits or the advantages of the Jajmani system. One of the advantage of Jajmani system is occupational security. Unlike now, we are worried as to what we are supposed to do in the future, whether we will get a job, whether we will be engaged in some occupation or not. We are, we are quite worried about the future. But in this Jajmani system, there was occupational security. The Kamins were not, worried. They had no tension as to what occupation they are going to follow in future, because their occupation was already fixed. So we did in the characteristics that it was hereditary. So here the occupational security means that people, the Kamins, they did not have to worry. Their occupation was already fixed. So in that case, they had occupational security, and along with the occupational security, they had economic security. They did not have to worry about their livelihood, because if they served their Jajman in a proper way, if the Jajmans were happy with the services of the Kamins, they were responsible. The Jajman, they took the sole responsibility to look after the well-being and the welfare of the Kamins. So they did not have to worry about occupation or their economy. Then the third advantage of Jajmani system is security of services. Here the Kamins, they had occupational security, and on the other hand, there were the Jajman who did not have to worry about the services they were going to get. They did not have to worry as to who will, provide them with the service, because their services, their Kamins were already fixed. So along with the occupational security of the Kamins, there was security of services among the Jajmans. And the fourth advantage is personalized, close relationship. So there was a very close relationship between the Jajman and the Kamin. Since their relation were permanent, they were not only economically linked with one another, but also they used to take part in each other's family functions, or if they had any religious rituals that were to be performed in the houses, they took part in each other's family affairs also. So we can say that they enjoyed a very they enjoyed a very strong relationship between each other. So these are the advantages or the merits of the Jajmani system. So everything has its own advantages and disadvantages. So Jajmani system also had lot of disadvantages. At least we can say 4 disadvantages here. So let us have a look one by one, based on the sense of high and low. So one of the demerits is that this Jajmani system was based on the sense of high and low, because people were divided as the Jajmans and the Kamins. Jajmans, they were getting so much services, they were enjoying their superior position, whereas the Kamins, they were placed in a low position. They were always serving the Jajmans. So like the caste system, Jajmani system was also based on the discrimination and distinction of different occupation and caste. So that is one of the disadvantage. Another one is the great impediment to occupational and social mobility. Impediment means a hurdle Okay, so because the people's occupation, the Kamins' occupation were already fixed, they had no other choice. So which led it to the impediment. It disturbed the social mobility. Social mobility we had done in class 11's last chapter. Social mobility means movement of people from one social position to another. If you want to, if you want to increase your status, or if you want to move to a better position, then you need to follow, you need to get a new economic status, or you need to find out job somewhere else. But here, in case of the Jajmani system, people had no choice. So they could not improve their economic status, as they could not change their occupation also. So in this way, there was impediment, disturbance to get into higher social mobility. Another disadvantage, it leads to exploitation. Since the system was based on high and low, lot of exploitation was there, exploitation of Kamins by the Jajman. Since the Kamins, they had to economically depend upon the Jajmans, they were enjoying the superior position. They had to look after the Kamins, which means Kamins, they were at the mercy of the Jajmans. So because of which lot of Jajmans, they exploited the Kamins, and there are lot of references where we can see that the Kamins had a miserable condition under the Jajmans, and this Jajmani system led to exploitation of the Kamins. And the fourth demerits or disadvantage is narrowing the economy. Since the Jajmani system had a closed economic system, there was no production of the consumer goods, there were no markets. As such, it led to the narrow economy or the closed economic system. So these are the demerits of the Jajmani system. So next we will look at the factors responsible for the changes in Jajmani system. So now Jajmani system is all history to us. It was one of the characteristics of the self-sufficient village in India, okay, which is also, it is also a history. So we can see here that the Jajmani system, which was present in ancient India, is not present today. So there are various reasons as to what led to the decline or the change in the Jajmani system. One of the reason is changes in the caste system. Jajmani system and caste system is linked with each other. Okay, so caste system is also based on occupation, and in Jajmani system also we find that people, they are engaged in different occupation, which is hereditary in nature. Okay, so here we in today's India we see that a lot of changes has come in the caste system. In the caste system, Brahmins enjoyed a superior position, but now we see that there is decline in the superior position of the Brahmins. Lot of low caste people have come up. In the ancient India, caste system defined the status, the role, okay, of the people, but now it is not the caste system which determines everything. We can see that lot of caste people, low caste people have come in the higher position as compared to the Brahmins. So because of these changes, changes in the caste system, it has led to the change in Jajmani system. Changes in hereditary occupation. Also, along with the changes in the caste system, we can see there is lot of change in the occupation also. Nowadays, we don't have to follow our hereditary occupation. Lot of choices are there. We can take up any profession or occupation, because of which it led to the decline or change in the Jajmani system. because as we heard that in Jajmani system there was hereditary occupation. So people had no choice, they had no right to change their occupation, but due to the changes here it has led to the change in Jajmani system. I hope you all are understanding. Next is industrialization. With the coming up of industries, lot of people from the villages, rural areas, they migrated to towns and industries to work as laborers, leaving their traditional, leaving their hereditary occupation and profession behind. Okay, so all these all these points are interrelated to each other. Because of the change in caste system, there was no hereditary occupation, and since there was industrialization, the people who followed hereditary occupation left their job, left their occupation and joined different industries. And also because of the expansion of the means of transport and communication, it was possible for the laborers, for the rural people to migrate towards the towns and to the industries and the factories because of this transport and communication. If the transport facilities were not there, if the communication facilities were not there, then people would have never been able to migrate to other places other than their own native villages. And the fifth one is the payment in the form of cash. One of the major characteristics of the Jajmani system was exchange of the goods among the Jajmans and the Kamins, which got a severe blow when their payment started in the form of cash. So the Jajman who used to pay their Kamins with kind, with food grains, that system only changed with the coming up of cash or the introduction of money. So all these reasons were responsible for the changes in Jajmani system. So I hope this chapter is very clear to you all. It is very important topic. Lot of questions come from this chapter. You get a question like write a note on Jajmani system. What is Jajmani system? What is the meaning of Jajman? What are the merits? What are the demerits of the Jajmans? And also what are the reason for the change in Jajmani system? All these questions come. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So I will be giving you assignment. Write a short note on Jajmani system. What are the merits and demerits of Jajmani system? This is A, JAJ. And the third, what led to the decline or change in the Jajmani system? So I have already given you the points, I have explained. So when you will do the assignment, just writing the point will not be enough. So you have to explain each and every point. So refer to the contents that I gave you earlier. So for the next class we will be doing culture. So with this topic Jajmani system, we have come to the end of the topic economy of India during the pre-British period. Village self-sufficiency of the village, the Jajmani system, land ownership pattern, everything comes under the economy of the pre-British India. Okay, so thank you.